Do you remember watching Friends for the first time when Rachel gets off the plane and her and Ross reunite? Or do you remember reading Harry Potter for the first time? Or maybe you remember getting home after school and watching trashy TV shows like Maury or Jerry Springer. What if I told you that the lack of community and connection that we feel in today's society is because when an argument breaks out, we no longer shout in tandem, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Well, let's talk about it. Before the advent of smartphones and having the whole world literally at our fingertips, we had a limited amount of media that we could consume. We would watch it and then largely rewatch it. Reruns were everywhere. The media that we consumed was largely something that everyone could participate in if you owned a TV. But now we all have TikTok. And I'm sure by now you've seen this video.
A new platform, like watch the birth of TikTok. I've been here for all of it. And I feel like we're in such a weird place on social media as content creators where I am like fighting. I feel like I am like trying to run through mud to connect with my followers.
Now, while many commentators have already given their opinion on this video and some of the circumstances surrounding it, as a Christ follower, I see this in a different way. As someone who spends most of their day around children, they have a few things, very few things in common nowadays. Yes, maybe all of them are saying 6, 7, but the thing that separates them is their media usage. If I asked a class, what do you all like to watch on a daily basis? Now, some of them are going to say, oh, I like Mr. Beast, or I watch Sam and Colby, but a lot of them are not even going to know who each other's favorite YouTuber is. Or some of them are not going to watch YouTube at all. Maybe they're going to watch 90s movies, or maybe they're going to watch a Twitch streamer instead. The media that they consume is no longer culturally together. It is no longer what I like to call communal media. We are no longer, as a society, on the same page when it comes to media. And yes, maybe that was how it was years ago or decades ago before the advent of cell phones, because we all had like our niche. There was still kind of this prevailing idea of what everyone was watching. Nowadays, that has translated into TikTok. And in TikTok, you have your own certain niche that you fall into. And it seems like once you're in that, there is no kind of separating yourself from that. So the way that we feel connected to one another nowadays is not through communal media, it is through communal consumerism. Now, whether it's the Stanley Cup craze or the Starbucks Bear Cup or the Rode phone case.
Just one. Okay. Oh my gosh! We won!
I can say his victory tastes great, but it tastes even better in a bear cup.
So she's working. You're not allowed to her. She's on the clock. So she's shopping on Starbucks clock.
We are no longer sensing or feeling a sense of connection by experiences that we have or things that we watch, but items that we consume. And people are buying these items so that they can feel connected to the world around them. It's not because they have to have that Starbucks cup. It's because if they have it, then they feel as if that they are like in touch with everyone around them, or better in a way than everyone around them. It's the everyone has one, so I need one too mindset. And that mindset is inherently wrong because it is coming from a place of want, and not wanting something because it is of genuine interest to you, but wanting it because you're missing something. We don't want the 3rd or the 30th Stanley Cup and the rainbow of colors. We want to feel connected to those around us. But we are going about it in the wrong way. I think a lot of us has forgotten what it feels like to be genuinely connected to another person. We buy these items or we do these things, and yet we don't feel in connection to the other humans that are around us, to the other people that are sharing our space with. When you watch a YouTuber and they have a video and they're trying on different outfits and they're saying, hey, which one looks best on me? That is not a genuine connection. You're commenting, oh, 1 looks the best, or 2 is best for date night. It's closer than maybe some of the other content that we consume, but it's still just a comment. You're still commenting something that that person is using to farm for engagement. It is not genuine connection.
So we have all the fragrance mists lined up here, but there's more where that came from. And then we have lotions and shower gels. And then
or you're buying these things that are useless. These people who have hygiene closets and they have all of this stuff, and they have to have so much of it that it takes a separate room or a separate part of their house or more storage, or their kids don't have room to play because of all of the stuff that they have. You can't even use all of that stuff. You can't even use all of that stuff within a good time frame. But it makes them feel good to have those items because it's filling a void that is bottomless. That is not something that they will ever be able to fill by consuming things. Instead of standing outside in front of a local Starbucks at 3 a.m. waiting to get one of 2 cups available, maybe we should go and we should pick up the phone and call people that we know, talk to them, form those connections, strengthen those connections. This is a really difficult thing because it's easy to point fingers. It's easy to say, oh, well, you're dumb for buying that or for participating in this trend or whatever it happens to be. But we need to give grace, especially as followers of Christ, to people who are stuck in this consumerism cycle. You know, it never ends. It feeds into each other. The more money that you have, the more things that you think that you need, the more items that you have, the more that you want. They are never satisfied. And to me, that's really sad. And I see those videos, those overconsumption videos. I see people who are in desperate need of connection. Like when I watch Jaclyn Hill's video, I saw someone who, yes, she wants like her followers to come back. Like that makes sense. She wants to make more money. But what she really wants, I think deeply, is to feel a sense of togetherness. Not the case. Maybe she does just want more money and more viewers. Maybe that's the case. I think that it's really sad to kind of point fingers at her. It is so easy to judge those who are in these circumstances. You know, they have more money than me. They can do whatever they want to, and yet they're squandering it or they're wasting it. You know, that may be a well judgment. But I think that we need to give a little bit more grace and compassion. As a Christian, we're called upon to see others as Christ sees us. And while that is largely impossible while we're here on earth, I think that we should do our level best to try. Are we staying in contact with those that maybe are not really first willing to contact us? Are we sticking around after church ends to kind of talk to each other and build those connections, shake hands, say, how are you? How has your day been? Are we willing to do that? And I know as an introvert, it is difficult for me to do that. I think it's necessary. If we're going to kind of combat this focus on consumerism, this capitalistic society that we live in, then I think it's necessary that we bridge those gaps. How can you claim to be a worshiper of Christ if you are not willing to interact with his people? And I mean genuinely interact. But keep reaching out our hands so that the time that the next silly trend comes around, you can say, no, thank you. My heart is full without that.